Thank you. I was going to ask for your attention, but you did a better job than I could have, so thanks for that. First, I'd like to invite Juan Mendoza up for a land acknowledgement.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Juan Mendoza, the chaplain aide from Troop 12. As a Native American, I have been asked to give a land acknowledgement on behalf of the troop to honor the original people of the land. Long before scouting and even before the city was officially founded, this land has been home to several Native tribes, the Miwok, Ohlone, Patwin, and Pomo people. These tribes have stayed committed to the protection and preservation of this land through generations. And today we are honored to celebrate the advancement of our scouts on their traditional lands. Thank you.
Thank you, Juan. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jacob Souza. I'm an Eagle Scout from Troop 7012, and I'll be your Master of Ceremonies for tonight. We've got a very full program, so hopefully you've warmed up those applauding hands, and I'll go ahead and pass it off to Senior Patrol Leader Willis Sargent, who will lead us in our color guard.
Audience, attention. Color guard, attention. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Color guard, cross. Color guard, halt. Color guard, prepare to post the colors. Scout salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Whoa, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Color guard post the colors. 2, color guard reform. Color guard about, face. Color guard forward march. Color guard halt. Eye on steadies. Color guard dismissed.
Well done. We'd now like to bring up our Silverado District Chair, Ken Lambert, and our Silverado Co-Advancement Chair, Pete McMullen, to open this Court of Honor.
Good evening, everyone. I was a little shocked when I came here tonight and Ms. Gretchen told me there was no script. Does she know me? No script? Really?
You're on your own, Ken.
Oh, be careful what you ask for. Right here? You sure? Okay. All right. I want to welcome you all to this great occasion. As you know, celebrating an Eagle Scout is a rather special thing. We get to celebrate quite a few here tonight. This is an occasion that deserves some consideration, some applause, which I've heard a little bit tonight so far. There'll be more. But we also want to keep in mind that Scouting has been around a long time, and hopefully, with everyone's help, we'll be around for quite a few years longer. In order to get this party started, I'd like to bring up Pete McMullen to officially open this Eagle Court of Honor.
Thank you, Ken. Gentlemen, how are you doing tonight? Most of these guys I saw last sitting at the end of a long table, sweating a little bit. But it's really pleasant to be invited here tonight, so let me, without further ado, the rank of Eagle Scout is awarded by the National Court of Honor and presented locally. To lend the appropriate dignity to our ceremony tonight by the authority in me vested, I declare this ceremony to be a National Court of Honor, open for the purpose of awarding the rank of Eagle Scout to Maximilian Burgess Shannon, Charles Halter Jr., Jay Kennedy, Liam McCulhey, Aidan Rambliss, and Bravin Star Clevenger. And I can almost read.
Next, I'd like to call to the stage Scott Peterson for an opening invocation.
Good evening. Let's pray. God, we thank you for this day of celebration and accomplishments, for friendship, to remember the struggles and the fun that each of these Eagle Scouts has had along the way. We remember all the merit badges, oaths committed to, and the character these men have developed along the way that brings them to this Eagle Scout Court of Honor. They took seriously the responsibilities and obligations and wove the values of scouting into the fabric of their daily life. We're mindful of the strength and effort required of a young person to arrive at this special moment. Bless, O God, their parents, leaders, and mentors who taught them and helped mold them into the people they are becoming. We pray, O God, that they each will recognize the responsibilities placed upon their shoulders, that as an Eagle Scout they join a company of people who have, by word and deed, upheld a way of life and an approach to living that reflects the best in our nation. May they serve as a role model in life and reflect the Scout law, the Scout oath, and the traditions of faith. Amen.
I would like to invite our senior patrol leader, Willis Sargent, back up to the stage for the candle lighting ceremony. When a youth becomes a scout, there should be instilled with them what we like to call the spirit of scouting. Come on down, Willis. These lighted candles here symbolize that spirit. Because of the spirit of scouting embodies the principles of the Scout Oath and Law, which becomes a shining beacon of inspiration. Alone, this light may be feeble, but when multiplied by the millions of boys in scouting, it can become a very powerful force. After youth has entered scouting, they promise to obey the Scout Law, and so, one by one, the symbols that stand for the 12 parts of the Scout Law are lighted. There are 12 parts, all important and all meaningful. Each is an important cornerstone in the building of strong character. A scout is trustworthy. A scout is determined as well. Loyal. A scout is helpful. A scout is friendly. A scout is courteous. A scout is cheerful. A scout is kind. A scout is obedient. A scout is thrifty. A scout is brave. A scout is clean. And a scout is reverent. And finally, in the 3 points of the Scout Oath, we promise on our honor to do our best to this duty. First, to our faith and country. Second, to helping other people at all times. And third, to ourselves by staying physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. You see how the light from the spirit of scouting grows and becomes stronger. These are the basic ideals of scouting, and each youth subscribes to them when they join. To attain the highest rank in scouting, our candidates were active in the troop and their patrol for years, showing scout spirit and leadership. They earned 21 or more merit badges, 13 of which are from a required list. They planned, developed, and gave leadership to a service project which was helpful to their school, their religious institution, or their community. They passed a troop and district board of review, which is grueling. And so tonight, you'll witness the presentation of their well-earned award. None of this would be possible without a Scoutmaster to lead the troop. First, I'd like to ask Troop 12's past Scoutmaster, Patrick Mulcahy, to the stage for his Scoutmaster Minute.
See if I can get it. I got got some notes here, folks. So first, I would like to congratulate you Scouts. You have done something that only 6% of Scouts do. So 6 out of every 100 Scouts makes it to Eagle, and you've all done that. So I congratulate each and every one of you. Only 3% of the youth in America, Scout-aged, make it to Eagle. I'd like to thank some of the former Scoutmasters and people who have helped me help you guys on this path, and I'd like to recognize. So start with Bruce LaPrade, Eagle Scout and a mentor to me as a Scoutmaster. Claude Smith, who's not here tonight. I used to think Bruce and Claude were trying to kill me on the hikes because they would always just take me out. And I'm like, did you bring an AED? I mean, come on, And, but they didn't. John Yee is here tonight, and so he has been a big help. And, again, you can't do this without help. Allison Williams, 50 milers, my right hand, my wingman or person, couldn't have done it without her. When we were taking the kids, we did 2 50 milers the Rogue River, and when I was falling asleep driving up, she kept bumping into my car to wake me up. Time for coffee? No, she was great. Planning, the planning hikes, couldn't have done it without her, and helping to transport the kids and everybody. Martin Sargent, Anthony Shannon, Gretchen Burgess. I'm going to mention 2 people who are gone physically, but they're still with us. They live in our hearts and our memories, is Debbie Halter and John Hagan. Both of those guys. Those 2 were just insurmountable. And members of the Mount Diablo Silverado Council, we couldn't have done it without you. And members of the Troop Committee, thank you for giving up your time and making it possible for the boys, because you can't do this alone, and it was a collaborative effort that did everything. I'd also like to mention 2 other individuals here. Dave Brahini, who would help transport the kids and everything, and I kind of owe him an apology because he trailered the trailer down to Pinnacles once, and I don't know if you guys, any of you remember this, but when backing the trailer, he had asked me to help. It was getting dark, so I put the windows down so we'd have good communications, but we didn't talk about putting them back up, and he got his car vandalized by a bunch of raccoons that came in, and they ate all of his snacks, and then they left him a thank you by putting their paw prints over everything. So for that, I apologize, Dave. And then Sue Burton, who has just been phenomenal and putting everything together. Appreciate that. Everybody who I didn't mention, forgive me, but I would like to thank all the parents who helped out by transporting the kids. Can't do it alone. Got to have 2 deep on the camping trips, and a lot of people gave up their time, stepped up. So the parents, we thank you, because we couldn't do it without you. We got to have 2 deep, and we got to, I don't own a school bus yet, so you had to have people carpool. And I mean everything, the tree cycle, all the programs that we did. Just an immense thank you. For the Eagles, moving on, just want to remember you all are Eagles for life. You don't say I was a Boy Scout, you say I am an Eagle Scout. And I would charge you guys with taking a minute to put a note in your phone about the Scout Law, the Scout Oath, and the Eagle Charge. And every morning when you get up, look at that note and say, I'm going to go out and do something today with those principles in mind to help make somebody else's life better. And then I'm going to close with one of the things. Well, first of all, you guys all endured a lot of tough things to get here. And some of you will remember hikes where we literally had to build bridges to get across flooding to get back to camp. And you pulled together and did it. And the 50 milers just endured a lot of hardships on those, had a great time. But you all kind of learned that if you pull together and don't take no for an answer and have a positive mental attitude, you'll find a way to get through the tough things that life throws at you. And that's what you're supposed to learn here. And then lastly, little slogan that I came up with is every day you're going to run into situations where you're going to have a choice of doing one of 2 things, and that is be a mentor, not a tormentor. If somebody's messing up, hey, let me show you a better way to do this. So, and everybody in the room, if you're in that situation, You can help people out. You can mentor them or torment them. Be a mentor, not a tormentor. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you for that, Pat. I want to first thank everybody for being here. It's so wonderful to see this room so full of people here to recognize these scouts. I inherited this job from Pat. I didn't start out with this troop. I started out with a different troop, and my Scoutmaster Minute centers around that experience. So I was with another troop, and our troop did not go to Camp Wolfboro. We went to Camp Wente. And it was coming up on Camp Wolfboro's 90th anniversary. And Gretchen said, you and Maximilian need to go to Camp Wolfboro for the 90th anniversary. And we could not get anyone from our troop to go with us. So we came here to Troop 12 and said, hey, can we join you guys and go with you to Camp Wolfboro? And Troop 12 said, okay, yeah, you guys can come along, I guess. So we went along on the trip, and it was amazing. The first night, Maximilian said, oh my God, this place is so much better than Wente. The first night, we hadn't even slept there. It was just the campfire ceremony. This place is so much better than Wente. Couldn't believe it. That week, we camped with Troop 12, we ate with Troop 12, we shot shotguns, we went swimming at Upper Falls, we did all kinds of fun stuff, singing at campfires. It was amazing. At the end of the week, as we're driving back down the mountain to come home, I turned around and I asked Maximilian, what was your favorite part of camp? I expected him to say the shotguns, because we hadn't done any shotgun shooting, or swimming at Upper Falls, or singing at the campfire, because he loves singing. He said, it was the friends I made. And so that day, ladies and gentlemen, my scout taught me the true meaning of scouting, why we're all here. And I went, okay, yep, he's got it. He just taught me something. We got home and he said, you know what, I want to join Troop 12. I want to move from the troop we're in to Troop 12. And I said, you know, you started your Eagle project. You're in the middle of your Eagle. Why don't we finish that at your troop, and then when you're done with that, we can move to Troop 12. And he reluctantly agreed. A year later, we moved to Troop 12, and I learned another lesson from my scout. This journey that they're on isn't my journey, it's their journey. And I had to let him, make the decisions about where that journey was going and how he wanted to take that journey. Another lesson I learned from my scout. And I continue to learn from my scout and all of my scouts. And so my point is that as we grow and go on, to be a successful leader, you have to do at least two things. One is listen, and the other is learn. So please continue to learn from these scouts. I'm going to tell you another story, if you will indulge me for just a couple of minutes. This doesn't count as my Scoutmaster Minute. I know I'm already out of time. But I get to introduce the next speaker, and so I'm going to tell you a story that seems like some Disney magical fairy tale, but it's not. This actually happened. In 2015, I got the opportunity to go aboard the Golden Bear, which is the big ship that Cal Maritime has, and go out on the bay to watch the Blue Angels and everybody else fly over. It was a wonderful opportunity, and I took my brand new scout with me. He was only a scout for, 7 months. And I said, you're gonna wear your uniform. And he said, I don't wanna wear my uniform. And I said, you're gonna wear your uniform. Finally, he wore his uniform. I hadn't learned to listen to him yet at that point. He was young. So he wore his uniform, and it was a good thing because we were getting on the boat. We got to the top of the gangplank, and a cadet saluted him and said, what troop are you with? And he was shocked because he was wearing his uniform, and he said what troop he was with, and that happened all throughout the boat. And we had the emergency muster where everybody goes over here or over there, depending on the color of your card. They count off heads so that they can find out later how many people fell overboard. And after they counted all the heads, the muster was over, and we happened to be in a room with President Cropper, Rear Admiral President Cropper, the president of Cal Maritime. And he gave a little speech, and then he was done, and he said, enjoy the wine and cheese and fruit that's here. And I went to Maximilian, I said, let's go meet him. Let's go say hi. So we went over to Mr. Cropper, and he shook his hand, and Admiral Cropper said, son, are you going to become an Eagle? And he said, yes, sir. And he said, where are you going to go to school? And I said, well, his mother and I are hoping he's going to go to Cal Maritime. And Mr. Cropper looked him in the eye and said, son, I want an invitation to your Eagle Court of Honor. And when you are ready to come to Cal Maritime, I will hold a spot open for you. And so, ladies and gentlemen, to bring this full circle, I would like to introduce to you and invite up to the stage the president of Cal Maritime, Rear Admiral Thomas Cropper.
Well, thank you. It's a true story. All of it. And before I begin my remarks, I just want to say, that it's not it's part associated with Scout Law. Do what you say you will do. So I am. I'm here. Congratulations to all of you. So good evening, Scouts and families and friends of Scouting. This is a fabulous, fantastic, joyous, wonderful night, and an opportunity to recognize hard work and determination of 6 special Scouts, soon to forever be called Eagle Scout. Allow me the privilege of offering my warm greetings and thanks to parents and families of these Scouts. This is an incredible accomplishment of your sons. This was their journey, but they did not travel alone. Through your time and your talent and your care and occasional cajoling and strong, consistent support, you created an environment for your Scout to succeed. So tonight we gather to celebrate that support as we honor the new Eagle Scouts, and I'm very honored to join you this evening. I would like to begin by noting that I belong to a family of Eagle Scouts. My son-in-law, Patrick, an underachiever who earned his Eagle Scout in 8th grade and went on to the Naval Academy and adventure as a Navy SEAL. My son Tommy, who in the same mold as an Eagle Scout, joined my late father in service to our nation in the U.S. Army, now serving as a Green Beret in their Halo team. My 9-year-old grandson, Colby, a future Eagle, has already memorized the Scout Oath, proudly shared by his mom on Facebook. I can't wait to see what Scouting will do for him. Scouting is a family affair for so many people, and in our case, it led to military service. The service life begets a life of service for many. And it's fitting that we hold this court of honor in the Veterans Hall. There's something about serving that brings out the best in folks, and it delivers a profound appreciation for the shared sacrifice and shared responsibilities of citizenship. I'm a maritime professional. There's something you may want to know about mariners. They abide by a moral code of conduct and a set of laws of the sea that have been written over human history. I would offer to you that many of these same things are at play in Scouting, but Scouting offers something else, a gift. And tonight, I'd like to talk to you about that gift. Here it is. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty. To guide my country, to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, and to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Those are nice words. The questions I'm going to pose to you tonight, and all of you, do they really matter? Are they artifacts of a bygone era? After all, we live in a modern age with rapid change, and times are just different. Do these words represent an antiquated notion of adulthood, or can they offer a compass for navigating one's life toward true happiness? I believe these questions must be confronted head on, and I believe that because I am an alumnus of the Boy Scouts of America. And I have benefited so much, both personally and professionally, from my experiences and development in scouting. Scouting was, for me, literally a gift. It was a gift of love from my father. I did not understand at the time how incredibly it would change the trajectory of my life. And I cannot offer anything but a rousing endorsement of its timeless principles, embodied in its simple but powerful oath, law, motto, and slogan. I have many fond memories of my days in scouting, and I marvel and I'm thankful at how well prepared it made me for my first career as a naval aviator. Landing a fighter jet at nearly 160 miles an hour at night on the pitching deck of an aircraft carrier is sporty. It requires training, a little skill, and a certain ability to overcome fear. The Navy gave me training, and they helped me develop my skill, but scouting taught me to habitually confront fear and to keep going despite it. You might think that I learned to act in the face of fear while walking across rope bridges over rivers or backpacking 120 miles on the C&O Canal or jumping off a high platform into a pool 15 feet below. But the place I first learned to overcome fear was on my first camp out. The older boys had concocted a perfect ghost story, and I still remember laying in my tent, absolutely petrified, that the eerie green ghost of Ruby, perfectly portrayed in the distance by a green scout poncho lit inside by a flashlight, would make her way to my tent flap and end my young life. And I learned so many other things in Scouts that made my early Navy flight training much easier. My first 2 months in training were in water and land survival. I had a tremendous advantage in confidence when I had to jump into the pool in full flight gear and drown-proof. I already knew how. Thank you, swimming and life-saving merit badge. I had to swim a mile with any stroke. Thank you, Mile Swim at Camp Nanticoke. I had to live off the land for 3 days in the Florida Panhandle. Thank you, Survival Merit Badge. I had to navigate myself overland for 10 miles to get to my rescue point. Thank you, Orienteering Training for second class. I learned so much more in scouting that transcended the actual skill building that helped me as a leader. I learned how to succeed. There's an expression I've adopted to describe this phenomenon that scouting inculcates. Winners win. The timely reward system for scouts that recognizes measurable change in skill and attitude delivers a very powerful lifelong behavior, the habit of succeeding. So when a scout learns that success comes from studying, practicing, and mastering a particular skill, and when this studying and practicing and mastering are repeated many times in many topics, a young person develops the habit of success that will carry them forward for life. I also learned how to lead. You are probably familiar with the quote, in order to be something, you have to do something. How absolutely true in scouting and in life. One can think a lot about getting a merit badge or achieving a certain scout rank, but thinking without acting yields little to nothing. Of course, acting without thinking is generally worse, and I can remember a few times on campouts or on hikes when that painful lesson might have played out disastrously without the thoughtful intervention of scoutmasters. And I learned, maybe by osmosis, how to let people find their way and when to step in. I call that judgment, and I learned that in Scouts too. I learned how to walk the talk. Today, as a university president, when facing any number of opportunities and challenges, I rely on a few cornerstone principles I learned in scouting, embodied in 4 things that we as Scouts said together. Be prepared. Preparation requires thoughtfulness, insight, and the wisdom and counsel of others. Do a good turn daily. This is the golden rule. Love thy neighbor as thyself, put into action. When you really show your neighbors you love them by doing something nice each day. The Scout Oath and Law. On my honor, I will do my best. On my honor, my highest self, the greatest of the inner me, giving my best, my all. Not just thinking about it, not saying I will try, saying I will. Do more than just enough, more than a strong effort. I'll give you my very best. To do my duty to God and my country. My highest calling will be found in service. I will serve my nation, my community, my fellow citizens with daily actions that demonstrate the truest sense of service. This is what we celebrate tonight. Service requires vigilance and sacrifice, and service matters. Real service embodies commitment with no expectation of anything in return. It means service to something beyond self, something beyond the tangible, and often something beyond the predictable, and real service brings great success every time. To obey the Scout Law, trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. I've often wondered why they were in that particular order. The last three were added to Sir Baden-Powell's earlier version over 100 years ago by our commissioner, James West. But the first law, trustworthy, is probably first for a reason. Without trustworthiness, the rest of the law would not operate. To help other people at all times, to help people I don't know, not just my friends. To help them when they need my help, not just when I'm willing to help them. Keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. I cannot be complacent or apathetic. Thomas Hobbes wrote in 1668, justice is a rule of reason by which we are forbidden to do anything destructive to our life, and consequently a law of nature. Body, mind, and soul often require the sustenance of a discipline that brings happiness. Walking the talk is not easy. It never has been. Peer pressure is not new. But having the opportunity to act, not just think, when it comes to how a young person will respond to that pressure is among the greatest gifts of scouting. Someday, in some way, everyone will be faced with a crucial decision that tests them. Will they get it right? If they've been a scout, I believe they will. And if they don't get it right, they'll know it deep inside. So let me close with those questions I posed earlier. Does the Scout Oath really matter? Yes. Is it an artifact of a bygone era? Does it represent an antiquated notion of adulthood? No. Each young person who has embarked on this journey to adulthood through scouting is armed with the very best preparation for life's curveballs. As they each step out into the world that at times defies their attempts to discern meaning, they will have guideposts to help light the way. They will have experiences, skills, and insights that bring them routine success and allow them to navigate their lives toward the good, the true, and the beautiful. It would only be arrogance or ignorance that would lead one to believe that the challenges facing us today are so dramatically different than those experienced by mankind from the ancient Greeks to the founding fathers to today. Learning to succeed, learning to lead, and learning to walk the talk have mattered in every day of human history. And it's through the power of scouting that we will be confident in that young person who will be tomorrow's leader on their honor, doing their best, doing their duty to God and country, living the Scout Law, helping others at all times, keeping themselves physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. This is the gift, a beautiful gift. So, Dad, thank you. I cannot imagine a greater gift. And to the families here tonight, thank you as well. You too have given that gift of a lifetime to these and many other scouts through your thoughtful and dedicated support And so now it's time to honor and congratulate these amazing young men. Thank you. Sorry, I dropped that. Thank you.
Thank you for those wonderful words. I'd now like to invite our newest Eagle Scouts up to the front of the stage. A quick introduction, I believe, is due for those who may not know them. Firstly, we have Braven Star Clevenger. Maximilian Rex Burgess Shannon. Liam Mulcahy. Charles Halter Jr. And Jay Kennedy. Our sixth Eagle, Aiden Rambliss, earned his Eagle rank about 3 years ago prior to the COVID pandemic and would have held his Eagle Court of Honor just as we were all going into lockdown. Aiden could not make it tonight, but we would like to acknowledge the work that he did and his great achievement in reaching the rank of Eagle. Let's have a round of applause for Aiden. For 6 Eagles to come out of a single troop in such a short period of time is almost unheard of. Seriously. For it to happen during a pandemic lockdown, while our population was learning a new way of life, centered around virtual meetings, while many facilities were closed and we all had to adjust our policies and our priorities, and to do so in a city that's facing so many other challenges is truly remarkable. This is not the end of the trail for these young men, but rather the beginning of a new era in their lives. You young men are now entering an elite group of scouts who has not only achieved the Eagle Scout rank, but has made a commitment to the Scout oath and law. You will always be an Eagle Scout and will be expected to conduct yourselves accordingly. Would the Eagle Scouts in the audience please rise? I charge you to enter this Eagle Scout Fellowship without reservations, the ideals of honor and service. Repeating the Eagle Scout promise before your fellow members, you will be sealing your eternal loyalty to the code of the Eagle Scout. Scout, sign and repeat the charge after me. I reaffirm my allegiance to the 3 promises of the Scout Oath. That's you guys too. It's okay, we'll start over, not a big deal. I reaffirm my allegiance to the 3 promises of the Scout Oath. I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of the Eagle Scout. On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example. My rank and my influence count strongly for better scouting and better citizenship. In my troop, in my community, and in my contacts with other people. To this I pledge my sacred honor. 2. Congratulations. Now I'd like to call Troop 12 forward to help us present our Eagles with their Eagle neckerchief and their slide. Scouts, you may now present the neckerchiefs to our Eagles. Certificates. Troop 12 Scoutmaster Tony Shannon will now present the Eagles with their Eagle certificates. We're doing jackets now. Thank you, Scouts. Troop 12 would like to present the Eagles with their Eagle jackets to represent our pride in your accomplishments and your hard work. If you'd like to come up one at a time, Braven, please come to the stage and receive your jacket. Maximilian, please receive your jacket. Liam, please receive your jacket. CJ, come on down. Jay, please receive your jacket. Photo op. Will the Eagle Scout Honor Guard please escort our Eagle parents to the front? Welcome. What our Eagles have accomplished is with your support and guidance. It is fitting that the parents of our Eagles present their awards to them. In recognition of the many hours of patient guidance and support given to you, please present these pins to your parents. Next, our parents will present the Scouts with their Eagle Scout medal. This one. Left side. Left side, yeah. Jacket.
Guide them.
That looks good. We can do that now. CJ, would you and your parents please join us on the stage? Tonight we have a couple of Eagle Palms to award to our Eagles. Eagle Palms symbolize the additional work after achieving the rank of Eagle that these young men have accomplished. Will your parents please present you with your Eagle Palm? Very nice. Next, I'd like to call Maximilian up to join us on stage to receive your palms. Thank you, parents, for all that you've done for these scouts. Your help is immeasurable. You may take your seats. Thank you. While our Eagle parents take our seat, I'd like all of our Eagle mentors to come forward and join us in front of the stage. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to guide a scout to Eagle as well. Our Eagles have chosen to give a special thank you to some villagers who were especially helpful on their journey. First, we would like to start with Jay in the presentation of his mentor pin. You can stay on stage. Yeah. Jay would like to thank John Yee. Do you have any words you'd like to say about Mr. Yee?
You're not following the program.
I'm following the program director.
We're doing the left-hand side. Thank you. I really appreciate everything you've done. You remember when I stole soda from the water company? I remember that. All right, where would you like this? Anywhere. Stick it right in my palm. I'm going to really try not to. I really appreciate it.
You can go back to the front of the stage. Thank you. Liam, would you like to join us on stage for the presentation of your mentor pins? Liam would like to thank Bruce LaPrade, Chuck Spear, Allison Williams, John Yee, me, Jacob Souza, thank you, Liam, Antonio Bond, Gustavo Preciado, and Ryan Mulcahy.
Jacob.
Jacob Souza.
Thank you. Would you like to say any words about your mentor? Gotcha. Thank you, Liam. Next, we'll invite Maximilian to the stage. Maximilian would like to thank Scott Sullivan, Sam Link, Patrick Mulcahy, Oren Shackelford, Tom Stewart, Chuck Spear, Ken Lambert, Scott May, and Carolyn Suyuki. Braven, would you please join us on stage? Thank you. Braven would like to thank Patrick Mulcahy, John Yee, Charles Spear, and Allison Williams. Yeah, I'll call you up. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Eagles, you may take a seat. Let's have one more round of applause for our mentors. Yeah, you can sit. You can sit. Thank you. There was one person who was instrumental in all the Scouts' journey to Eagle because she was the heart of this troop. I'd like to have CJ Halter and Mr. Shannon come forward to help us remember and honor Debbie Halter.
So some of you are from different circles, and you may not know Debbie. Debbie was a very special lady. Her photograph is up here. Debbie was the heart of this troop and many other things. I'm going to give you just a little brief story about how I discovered Debbie. So I was a soccer coach. I was Maximilian's soccer coach and CJ's soccer coach. And Debbie, CJ's grandmother, would bring him to practices and bring him to games. Oh, look, there's Debbie. Okay, now I know Debbie. Then Maximilian started band, and CJ was in band. So I go to band practices. I go to band uniform dressing fittings. There's Debbie right in the heart of it. Then, as you learned, I listened to my scout, and we came here to Troop 12. There's Debbie sitting at the committee chair spot running this troop. She gave so much to so many of us here in this room. These scouts would not be Eagle if it were not for Debbie. She was unfortunately taken from us unexpectedly, and she cannot be replaced. Martin Sargent generously stepped in to take over as committee chair, and Martin and I had multiple conversations where he said, I don't think I can do this the way Debbie did it. And my answer is, nobody can do this the way Debbie did it. She was the only one who could do it that way. And so CJ is up here, and he asked me to speak because we're both very emotional about this, and he said he might not be able to get the words out. And so we would just like to have a moment of silence to honor Debbie and all she was. Thank you. And since she was not here to receive her recognition, the troop has put together a recognition, and we'd like to present it to CJ now. It's a photograph of CJ and Debbie with an Eagle Mentor pin.
Thank you. Now, we have a special presentation not in your program. Will Maximilian and Liam please come forward? Also, can we have Mr. Mulcahy and Mr. Shannon please join us on stage? Oh, you can join me on the side here so we can see. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, it's okay. How many parents do we have in the crowd tonight? Show of hands. Not me, but others. When dealing with the challenges of parenthood, the terrible twos get a lot of press. But just about every parent will acknowledge that the teen years can be the most challenging of the journey and adventure that is parenting. Because of this, it takes a rare parent who will step up and take the duties of Scoutmaster while their son is active in the troop. We are lucky in Troop 12 that we have two such parents in attendance with us tonight, and it's probably no coincidence that both of their sons are among the Eagles that we're honoring tonight. Mr. Mulcahy and Mr. Shannon, what you have given the troop and to your sons goes much further than a parental pin signifies. So your sons want to also present with you these mentor pins to let you know how appreciative they all are of the time that you spent guiding them, not only them, but the troop as a whole. We are fortunate to have with us this evening our state, county, and local leaders to acknowledge the achievement of these Eagle Scouts. First, I would like to ask Mel Arpila to come to the stage. Mel Arpila is the Senior District Representative for Congressman John Garamendi.
Thank you. Myself and my other colleagues will be presenting certificates to all the Eagle Scouts today, but I just want to say on behalf of Congressman John Garamendi, I almost said Mike Thompson, my former boss, that he regrets he couldn't be here tonight. He is kicking off the 118th Congress in Washington, D.C. right now, so it should be a historic Congress. It's already starting with a lot of fireworks, as you probably read in the news. But I just want to personally say congratulations to all the Eagle Scouts today who are coming up for rank, and those who have already become Eagle Scouts, and those who are going to be Eagle Scouts. You join a long list of over 2.5 million recipients of this great award, including former President Gerald Ford, over 40 astronauts, including Neil Armstrong, Steven Spielberg, impressive. Who else? Sam Walton, the founder of Walmart, and a long list of other great notable Americans. So I have no doubt that you two will be on this list of great people, and you're going to go on in your future endeavors to give more to your community and to this nation. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Arpila. Next, we have Tom Barty. Tom Barty is the District Director for Senator Bill Dodd.
Should have tried to jump. Yeah. Well, good evening, everybody. And it's great to be here tonight on behalf of Senator Dodd, who also regretted that he couldn't be here. We, in the state legislature, have a special certificate specifically designed for Eagle. And if you bear with me, I'll just read it briefly. It says, having distinguished himself by completing the requirements for the Eagle Scout Award, and they probably need to change that because we have ladies in this as well. The highest rank conferred by the Boy Scouts of America. In order to receive this award, he has attained the rank of Scout Tenderfoot, Second Class, First Class, Star, and Life, all while fulfilling the requirements of earning at least 21 merit badges, volunteering with his community, participating in significant leadership roles within his respective unit, which validate the breadth of knowledge and experience he has obtained. This certificate of merit honors the perseverance he has demonstrated in his conduct and effort as a scout, his commitment to his unit and community, and towards our great state. He is to be commended for his outstanding achievement in attaining the rank of Eagle Scout. I congratulate him upon this singularly distinctive honor and eagerly look forward to how he will impact our world well into the future. Congratulations, State Senator Bill Dodd.
Thank you, Mr. Barty. I'd now like to invite Solano County Supervisors Aaron Hannigan and Monica Brown to the stage.
Hi. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Afternoon, evening.
That's okay.
It is such an honor to be here tonight for your Eagle Scout pinning. This is an amazing achievement for you. As Admiral Cropper said, this sets you up for success. I am the daughter of an Eagle Scout. My father became an Eagle Scout, went to college, joined the military service, and then ran for office and served his constituents for over 26 years. And so it is a lifetime of leadership that is ahead of you. And I am so excited to see what happens in your future. I know it's going to be all great things. And congratulations to your hard work. One of the things that my dad always said is he wasn't going to be an Eagle Scout if it wasn't for his mother. So to all the mothers and the fathers out there who helped your Eagles get to this point, thank you so much for that work. You've done a wonderful job, and we only have the future to look forward to. So thank you.
So one of my brothers is an Eagle Scout, and I know how much work was involved with the whole family to make the project work. To all of you guys, you're going to be not only the leaders, but you're going to be the next Scouts. You're going to be the people that the little kids look up to. And I loved the fact that you are going to be that moral compass. It is incumbent upon you, because you've made Eagle Scout, that you will show the right way that you should live. And I want to thank all of you for being here on a night where please be very safe going home. May you not find a puddle that you can't get through. So I thank you very much. And, I know.
And we have certificates
Yeah.
for all of you. I'll leave them up here to be distributed.
Right, and so where did the cards go? Oh, you passed them out already, okay. One of the things that one of my brother who got Eagle Scout was that everybody gave a card, and I wanted to carry that on, that you might want to put it in you give it to your mom and just say, keep it, so in 30 years from now, I'll go, who was that person that gave me this card? So anyway, but yeah, so thank you all.
Thank you, Supervisors Hannigan and Brown. Would Rosanna Verder-Liga please come to the stage? Rosanna Verder-Liga is the Vice Mayor of the City of Vallejo. Introduce yourself.
Yes, thank you very much. I asked Councilmember Mina Loera-Diaz to join me. And just briefly, I just wanted to give this brief remarks. Congratulations to the Eagle Scouts, to your parents, to your mentors, to your coaches, and all the folks that have been involved in your life. Thank you to all of you, and congratulations. Just a quick note here. It should be noted that each of these Scouts completed an Eagle project in the community in order to earn their rank. Each one of these projects represents hundreds of hours of effort, not only for the Scout, but also for the other volunteers that each Eagle organizes to demonstrate their leadership. Collectively, these projects represent thousands of dollars and hours of charitable giving to Vallejo, the underserved and underserved community, often doing work that organizations cannot afford to fundraise for, or even if they cannot afford to hire, can't locate talent to complete the needed work. The scope of scouting resources brings in professionals from all walks of life and are unavailable to many charitable organizations. On behalf of the City of Vallejo, thank you very much, and good luck in your journey. And it will be a life, you will be involved in the community, and my heart's off to you and my hat's off to you. Councilmember Loera-Diaz would like to offer remarks, and before that, just wanted to acknowledge former Councilmember Pipin Du is also here to join us.
Good evening, everyone.
This is the first time that I have attended a ceremony of this nature, and I have to say that I am just very happy that I'm here, and I'm very impressed. It's just amazing to see all of what you've accomplished and everybody that was there to help you along the way. I have a grandson that's 7 years old, and now I'm really inspired to go back and talk to my daughter about this, because I think that this is amazing. I want to be that grandma, similar to your grandma. That was, oh God, I'm gonna get emotional. To your grandma, because grandmothers, we just have this special love for you guys. This love that just grows and grows and grows when we see you. So I'm very, very inspired, and congratulations to all of you, and I know you're gonna do great things, and I'm just happy I was here to witness the ceremony. Thank you for the invitation, and go get them. Go do your thing. Thank you.
The mayor of the city of Vallejo, Robert McConnell, has certificates for each one of you. But before I end, I wanted to give a special shout out to Maximilian. My sons were with Bowena Children's Choir, and you sang the national anthem so beautifully. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. I'll now call our Eagle Scouts up to the stage one by one to receive their certificates from our local leaders. Braven Star Clevenger, come on down. Maximilian, come on down.
Certificates. Yep, jump again. Yay!
Liam Mulcahy.
Congratulations. That was good. I like that.
Congratulations.
CJ Halter. Jay Kennedy. Next, I'd like to invite to the stage Joe Rambliss to receive the certificates for Aiden Rambliss.
Congratulations, Aiden. Congratulations to you.
All right, so I'll jump off the stage.
All right, let's see.
So I'll jump off the stage. If Monica doesn't, I'll do it.
Oh, you guys want?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, I'm not
Oh, no. A scout is helpful. They're off to a great start. Thank you, guys. Yeah, all right. There are many things to give. I'd like to extend a very big thank you for all who are in attendance this evening, whether you're joining us in person or on Zoom, or if you don't have the time and you're watching the recording later on. Thank you so much. You supported these scouts in ways that they could never imagine. A big round of applause for all of you. We'd like to give a special thanks to the Vallejo veterans for their support of many, many years. In addition to generously allowing Troop 12 to meet in this room every week, the veterans invite us to join them in multiple community events throughout the year, including many events which honor those who have given a great service to our nation. Thank you, veterans. We would also like to thank the Vallejo Suburban Kiwanis. The Vallejo Suburban Kiwanis are our charter organization and have given generously to the troop and to this very Eagle Scout Court of Honor. Thank you. Lastly, we'd like to thank all of our special guests and speakers for presenting today and being a part of this very special evening. Next, we'd like to invite up our Silverado Co-Advancement Chair, Pete McMullen, to close this Eagle Court of Honor. Please be aware that the closing of this is not the end of the program. Please remain after the closing for the retrievals of the colors by Troop 12, a special benediction from our chaplain's aide, Juan Mendoza, and final words from our new Scoutmaster, Martin Sargent. And we'll be able to dive into that cake you've all been eyeing all night, too.
In keeping with the sub-theme tonight, I will not try to jump on the stage. Congratulations again, gentlemen. It was a pleasure to work with you the little bit that I did, and I know I tried to put all of you through a pretty good time at your Eagle Board, and I congratulate you again. Having completed the business before it, I now declare this Court of Honor closed.
I'd like to ask our Scout Senior Patrol Leader, Willis, back up to the stage for the closing of our colors.
Audience, attention. Color guard, attention. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Color guard, prepare to retrieve the colors. Scout salute. Color guard, unpost the colors. Color guard, reform. Color guard, about. Face. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. 2, audience at ease, color guard dismissed.
Juan Mendoza, please join us on the stage.
I please ask that you prepare yourselves in any way you see fit. We thank you, God, for the opportunity to have us all gather to celebrate this special day in our Scouts' lives. We thank you for everyone who helped support and guide them through their journeys to today, as we pray that these Scouts continue to live up to the honor, responsibility, and expectations this award represents. That they may continue to grow and lead with humility, strength, and example. Amen.
And lastly, our new Scoutmaster, Martin Sargent, for a Scoutmaster's Minute.
Good evening, everyone. As was mentioned, I'm the new Scoutmaster for Troop 7012. Just getting my feet wet now and just trying to get a feel for this new job. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. I know the ceremony lasted a little bit longer than a lot of Eagle ceremonies, but we had 6 Scouts this time instead of just 1 or 2. So I appreciate you all being here. I want to say thank you to all the parents who helped put these Scouts through and their families as well. It's a tough job. Thank you very much. And lastly, I'd like to say congratulations to all the Scouts. I've known all of you for several years. Even though I'm just starting out as Scoutmaster, we've known a lot of you since my son was a Cub Scout, actually. So I know you've earned your rank of Eagle, and I wish you much success in your lives to come. Thank you very much, everyone. We are now officially finished, I believe. Join us for cake and coffee in the back, if you're able to. Thank you very much.